How's it going, good people? I am James Bar Judah, and this is Shed Some Light. Today, we're going to be talking about the wonderful and intelligent, articulate young woman by the name of Amanda Gorman. Who is this young lady? She just stormed on the stage at the inauguration and just stole the whole show. Today, we're going to be finding out a little bit more about who she is. We're going to listen to some more of her poetry and just read a real quick short article on Amanda Gorman, and then hopefully by the end of this trip, you guys will know who this beautiful young lady is. So that without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. Let me get you guys on the right page here, and we're going to start. Here we go. Let's listen to this poem called The Miracle Morning.
Hi, I'm Amanda Gorman, and this is my poem, The Miracle of Morning. I thought I'd awaken to a world in mourning, heavy clouds crowding, a society storming, but there's something different on this golden morning, something magical in the sunlight, wide and warming. I see a dad with a stroller taking a jog across the street. A bright-eyed girl chases her dog, a grandma on a porch, fingers her rosaries. She grins as her young neighbor brings her groceries while we might feel small, separate, and all alone. Our people have never been more closely tethered because the question isn't if we can weather this unknown, but how we will weather this unknown together. So, on this meaningful morn, we mourn and we mend like lights we can't be broken. Even when we bend as one, we will defeat both despair and disease. We stand with healthcare heroes and all employees, with families, libraries, waiters, schools, artists, businesses, restaurants, and hospitals hit hardest. We ignite, not in the light, but in lack thereof. For it is in loss that we truly learn to love. In this chaos, we will discover clarity. In suffering, we must find solidarity, for it's our grief that gives us our gratitude, shows us how to find hope if we ever shall lose it. So ensure that this ache wasn't endured in vain. Do not ignore the pain. Give it purpose. Use it. Read children's books. Dance alone to DJ music. Know that this distance will make our hearts grow fonder. From a wave of woes, our world will emerge stronger. We'll observe how the burdens braved by humankind are also the moments that make us humans kind. Let each dawn find us courageous, brought closer, heeding the light before the fight is over. When this ends, we'll smile sweetly, finally seeing, in testing times, we became the best of beings.
Wow. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let the struggle, just like the Bible verses, let patience produce perseverance and all of that. She is very eloquent in her speech. She is right on point with her cadence. The poetry is just right on time for what's going on in the world today in society. I think that poem was about COVID. If I'm wrong, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. This woman is just doing big things. Post her poem, The Hill We Climb, on the congressional steps there. Let me read a little bit about this young lady. Gorman, all of 22, became the Youth Poet Laureate of Los Angeles at the age of 16 in 2014. The first National Youth Poet Laureate 3 years later, on Wednesday, she became the youngest poet to write and recite a piece at the presidential inauguration, following in the considerably more experienced footsteps of Maya Angelou and Robert Frost. In my own personal opinion, she is on par of those two people, Maya Angelou and Robert Frost, but I would even say even better. But that's just my own little personal opinion. But let's continue to read. Her precious path was paved both by opportunity and challenges, an early passion for language and the diverse influences of her native city. Gorman grew up near Westchester, but spent the bulk of her time around New York Roads School, a socioeconomically diverse private school in Santa Monica. Her mother, Joan Wicks, teaches middle school in Watts. Among shutting among the neighbors gave Gorman a window onto the deep iniquities that divide zip codes. Having a mom who is a teacher had a huge impact on me, said Gorman, who witnessed her ability to empower young people through language long before she began reading her own poetry aloud in grand spaces for grand occasions. From the 4th of July to the inauguration of a new president of Harvard University, Gorman was falling in love simultaneously with the written and spoken word. Her relationship with poetry dates at least to the third grade, when her teacher read Ray Bradbury's Delion Juan in the class. She can't recall the metaphors caught on her attention, but she remembers that it reverberated inside of her. Gorman still keeps a children's version of Jane Eyre's that she bought at a dollar store, the artifact of a habit that racked up late fees at several LA libraries. Once a book becomes a part of her, she had a hard time giving a book back. So she would go to the library, rent a book, and then if that book was special to her, she would have a hard time giving it back. I know I might have a few late books out there. My friend will be like, "You'd love this book. Let me lend it to you," she said. And I'm like, listen, to me, don't. Her first foray into public speaking came even earlier, a second grade monologue in the voice of Cheese Oshikoa. I know I'm pronouncing this wrong. Oshikiloa. Wow. Uh, that's an Indian chief. Florida's Seminole tribe. My apologies for not getting that name correct. I'm sure anyone who saw it was kind of angst at this 15-pound black girl who was pretending to die on stage as a Native American chief. She said, "But I think it was important in my development because I really wanted to do justice to the story and bring it to life. It was the first time that I really learned or leaned into the performance of text." So at an early age, here at in the second grade, she played an Indian chief and wanted to put her all into it because she wanted to do this person justice, this chief justice, and she wanted that first instance of being in front of the crowd. Just it sparked something in her at that very young age. Are you at a young age right now? Can you see yourself in this young woman? Let's continue to read. I'm sure anyone who saw it was kind of angst. Okay, I read that already. Gorman is a lot better at it now, but she's still working on her confidence as a public speaker. In fact, like her professor Angelou and the president elect, she grapples with a speech impediment. Now that kind of hits home for me because I myself have a little bit of a speech impediment. I don't know if you guys can tell in these videos, but I stutter and I stammer over my words. When I read, I think I have a little bit of dyslexia. But you know what? I'm not letting that stop me. And hopefully, you guys, and I thank you guys for continuing to be supporters and viewers of this page. As I know it might be a little hard at times to stay with me as I am reading these certain articles and things of that nature. But hey, this has been Shed Some Light, and today we shed some light, some positive light on Amanda Gorman. This 22-year-old young woman is doing big things, and I am expecting big things from her. Now, she doesn't, well, hey, she doesn't. But, the way things are going, I'm thinking that she's going to be, we're going to hear a lot more about Amanda Gorman. So with that, I'm James Barjuda. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to this page. Like this post. If you don't like it, hit the dislike. Hey, it all works out in the end. So you guys be blessed. Peace.